We visited Chiricahua Mountains a few years ago, but we never been to Turkey Creek before. We are now heading to Turkey Creek, located south of the Chiricahua Mountains, with a few reasons. We are looking for campsite for the night, and there is a Johnny Ringo grave on the way. Johnny Ringo was an infamous gunslinger who is one of the Clanton Gang member. Clanton Gang, also known as Cochise County Cowboys, which was a loosely organized group of outlaws in Arizona Territory during late 1800s. The gang was involved in cattle rustling, stagecoach robberies, and conflicts with lawmen, particularly the Earp brothers. Turkey Creek, also known in history, particularly in relation to ranching, the Apache Wars. We are interested in those things and need to find out once for all while we are here. But I'm going to mention Apache Wars briefly this episode because we are going to leave the history of Apache Wars when we are visiting Chiricahua Mountain and Cochise strongholds and Fort Bowie. His name is John Peters Ringo and was born in 1850. Johnny Ringo moved to Texas in the 1870s and became involved in the Mason County War, a violent feud between German settlers and Anglo ranchers. He committed his first murder during this conflict and was arrested but later released. Ringo was a rival of Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, often seen as a leader among the cowboys. Johnny Ringo was known for his gun handling and spinning skills, which were showcased in Tombstone, Arizona Territory, during his rivalry with Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday. Now we are arriving the gate to the grave by making U-turn there, where there is a turnout for a couple of vehicles can park. About a couple of hundred of feet to walk to the grave from the gate. It is private property and need to respect the property and the rules. According to the historic site sign there it reads, and I quote, "The remains of this noted gunman and outlaw lies here." A teamster traveling from West Turkey Creek found the body sitting in the fork of a nearby oak tree with bullet hole in the right temple. A coroner's jury reported the death to be suicide, and Ringo was buried on the spot. There were others who viewed the body and maintained that the July 13th, 1882, death of Ringo was murder. There are a reason to be a murder is that is bad people never dies by suicide unless forced or killed. When we visited Boot Hill Graveyard near Tombstone, most of the grave marked as killed, shot, murdered, hanged, stabbed, or stoned to death. This tell how violent that the town was.
I'm your huckleberry. Why, Johnny Ringo. You look like somebody just walked over your grave.
Fight's not with you, Holiday.
I beg to differ, sir. We started a game we never got to finish. Play for blood, remember?
I was just fooling about.
I wasn't.
This was the depicted from a movie scene, and there are 9 movies were filmed based on the actual event at Tombstone, Arizona. They are Tombstone, Gunfight at the OK Corral, Wyatt Earp, My Darling Clementine, Hour of the Gun, Toughest Man in Arizona, Law and Order, Once Upon a Time Tombstone, and Tombstone Rashomon. The Turkey Creek itself has deep histories on struggles of settlement and life. Pre-Apache Wars, Chiricahua natives are settling this area during summertime and did some agricultural activities. Erickson family settled in Faraway Ranch and other pioneers built ranches in the foothills, taking advantage of the grasslands and water sources. B.F. Smith Ranch, near Johnny Ringo's grave. This ranch was a key settlement in the area. Ranching continues in the region, with cattle grazing in the foothills of the Chiricahua Mountain. Settlers faced Apache raids, extreme weather, and isolation. Many historic ranches are now part of national parks and conservation areas, preserving their legacy. Turkey Creek remains a fascinating blend of frontier history, ranching traditions, and Old West legends. As we go deeper in the canyon along the Turkey Creek Road, we found wild animals, smaller ranches, and cabins. We stopped to see a couple of cows' white-tailed deer. It was fascinating. This area has many wildlife, like bobcat, coyotes, javelina, even black bear and bats. Many bird species and reptiles like venomous lizards, rattlesnake, leopard frogs. This is a part of Coronado National Forest, and we found so many cabins in the canyon. There were many possible campsites along the way, but we pushed forward to find where we saw on the map. We made right turn to Salisbury Trail and then climbed about a half mile and found great campsite. This is the place. Can't be any better for a camp. There are many hiking and horseback riding trail from where we camped. Next morning, we went up to deeper into Turkey Creek Road to explore, and we found a campsite called Sycamore, and there is only one spot was occupied there. Probably it may be busy on weekends. And this is the end of Turkey Creek Road. And see you in the next adventure.